July 10th. This is the July 10th meeting of the Norwalk Fairway Commission. It's 6:40 and we're calling the meeting to order. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of our June 5th hearing. Does everyone have the minutes of the prior hearing? Carlos, can you put them up on the screens?
Okay, on page one.
Yeah, this is page one. Any comments on page one?
Yeah,
Should have Vice Chair Fran Collier Clemens.
well, I wasn't gonna mention that, but yeah.
So-
Correction, that was via teleconference and in person, and that should be noted. And, Denise Constant, instead of a colon, that should be a semicolon. And after Johnny Mae Weldon, Brenda Penn Williams came late, and she should be included in attendance.
And so did as a guest as well.
Yes,
It should also be included in attendance.
so that's Brenda Penn Williams and what's the guest name?
It's a guest.
Hanson Guest, Guest.
All right. Anything on page two?
Yes. Under C, fair rent hearing case, there's a typographical error, change THR to THE.
Anything else on page two?
I see nothing.
Anything on page three? So nothing, anything on page four?
No.
Anything on page five? Goodbye. All right,
I'm already late. Here we go.
take a motion.
Motion.
Second. A motion from Sonia Oliver, second from Peter Halliday. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Minutes pass. The next item on our agenda tonight is the fair rent hearing for case 1848-24. I need to recuse myself from this hearing as I have a close personal relationship with either the complainant or the respondent. I'll guess which based on the last name. And so I leave you in the capable hands of our vice chair, Fran Collier Clemens. And Fran, I turn it over to you.
You're leaving?
Yeah, I'm leaving. I'm gonna join by Zoom, but I'm not going to stay here so as not to influence the proceedings.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
So let me ask you, you have to leave?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I will be back after the discussions of the hearing are completed to complete the rest of the meeting.
Oh, okay.
I can give you a call once we're ready for the meeting.
Okay, it is 6:44 in the evening, and this evening, July 10th, 2024, and the hearing of the Norwalk Fair Rent Commission is called to order. Thank you for your presence. My name is Fran Collier Clemens, Vice Chair. The commissioners and our staff are identified by their nameplates, and I thank them for their presence. You will observe that this meeting is being recorded. It is important that you speak clearly. Tonight, we will be hearing case 1848-24. Anna Giraldo tenant versus Cutting Edge Property Management LLC landlord. The Fair Rent Commission has the authority to hear this case pursuant to section 7-148B, it's in boy, through 7-148F of the Connecticut General Statutes, and can order a reduction of rent based upon the factors listed therein. Pursuant to section 7-148D of the Connecticut General Statutes and section 39-8 and 39-13 of the Code of the City of Norwalk, the Fair Rent Commission has the power to order the payment of rent into escrow to the commission and to issue a cease and desist order if it determines that the landlord has retaliated against the tenants for filing a fair rent complaint or in good faith requesting repair. Fair rent hearings are conducted as follows. All persons who plan to or may testify will be sworn in. Each person sworn in will then in turn state their name and address for the record. Documents will then be identified and entered into evidence by a staff member. First, we will have opening statements. The tenant may speak without interruption for no more than 5 minutes to summarize their position. Following that, the other party may also speak again without interruption to summarize their position for no more than 5 minutes. Please do not discuss any settlement offers or the reasons for settlement failing at any point in this hearing. Please note that there is no shouting, speaking out of turn, or foul language unless the foul language is a necessary quotation being repeated here for evidentiary purposes. The hearing tonight will be divided into 6 sections, with each section focused on one particular aspect of the fair rent complaint. During each section, the parties will be asked to present evidence relating only to the subject under consideration in that section. The sections will be: 1, considerations of income and expense; 2, conditions in the unit; 3, services, furniture, furnishings, and equipment supplied and availability of utilities; 4, the size and number of rooms available and rent charged for similar housing accommodations; 5, retaliation; 6, other items not already discussed which are relevant to the value of the unit. In each section, each party will be given the opportunity to call witnesses and ask them questions. The party not calling the witness will also be given an opportunity to ask questions of each witness. Next, commissioners will ask questions of any person who has testified. The staff will also be free to ask questions or make clarifications as advisable. Witnesses may be called more than once if their testimony is required in multiple sections. If the last segment of the hearing has not concluded by 8:30 this evening, the commission will vote whether to continue the hearing or to adjourn to a later date. Once all segments of the hearing are finished, each party will be given the opportunity to make a 10-minute closing statement. Following the closing statements, the parties will be free to leave. A recess will be announced following the hearing. Upon completion of the recess, the commission shall return to its published agenda. Are there any questions?
Let me just make one clarification. In the application, the complaint, it says the name of the management company. The owner in this matter is LGBL LLC. So the owner of the property is not Cutting Edge Property Management, LGBL LLC. The application, I'm sure there's a management company, but we have the owner here tonight, and in all due proper form, it should be against LGBL LLC as the owner of the property. And then the one other thing, this is Russell Liscott speaking, by the way. You know that, Mrs. Potter, was your mother able to understand the original admonishment that was just given? Okay, that's why I make sure that she understands what we're gonna do and how to proceed. And,
I will explain as we go.
okay, very good.
So all persons, are there any other questions? All persons who may be testifying tonight, please rise to be sworn in.
Yep, Mr. Potter, we're gonna swear you at the same time. The only admonishment I have is when you swear, when you're sworn in, you won't be giving testimony, you'll be translating. You'll swear to give truthful, and accurate interpretation of what your mother has to say, okay? All right, just so you understand. Very good.
You stand to
All
Ms.
raise,
Geraldo.
please.
Ms.
Raise
Geraldo.
raise your right hand.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that the evidence you shall give concerning this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, or upon penalty of perjury.
Yeah.
Thank you. Please state your names and addresses for the record.
Andrea Zapata, 55 Thurston Street, Bridgeport, Connecticut.
55 what street? I'm sorry.
Sorry, 55 Thurston Street, Bridgeport,
Spell Thurston, is it THUR?
THUR. URSDO,
Thurston, right? okay.
Thurston. And my mother is 44 Plymouth Avenue, Anna Girardo,
44 what?
44 Plymouth Avenue,
Plymouth
Norwalk,
Avenue.
Connecticut.
Right.
And Michael Church, 245 East Avenue, Norwalk, Connecticut.
Mr. Church, your position with LGBL is a member, the president,
Remember,
managing member?
yeah.
Very good.
Thank you. You may be seated. Mrs. Geraldo, do you have an opening statement? You have 5 minutes.
Pues el interés de estar aquí es porque pues no estaba de acuerdo con el aumento de mi renta.
She's here right now, she doesn't agree with the stuff that gave her. But she's been in the business.
You gotta speak up.
You have to speak louder
Okay.
because this is.
So we're here right now because she doesn't agree with the raise that they gave her, for the rent. So she's been living there since 2009. So the rent was $900 back in that day. So they have an agreement for 3 years, for tres
Yeah.
años to pay 1,700. The 3 years expire and now they're charging her $500 extra, so it will be $2,200 monthly. So she doesn't agree with that because the house is like in good shape, but it's not in excellent shape. They've been taking care of the house, but not like painting or anything. So we've been like cleaning the house, painting the walls, and from nowhere, they say like they want more money for the apartment. That's the reason that we're here.
LGB LLC, your opening statement, please.
But yeah, no, we value, the tenants at 44 Plymouth. We, acquired the property in February of 2018 and were given a ringing endorsement of the current tenants that they had been long-term tenants and we were excited to keep them. When we first took over, again, they were below market rent and we only raised them $100 to just get a little more, but still understanding that they were a value tenant. When the pandemic hit, to give them peace of mind of having housing, we decided to give them a 3-year lease, thinking that that would give the tenant peace of mind, knowing that they have a roof over their head and not have to worry about anything related to that. And we did at that time, do it for $1,700 a month. Now that 3 years, and it's been more than 3 years, but that 3 years has been up. We wanted to get closer to market rate conditions. As the letter I sent, or the property management company sent to the tenant, stated, we rented out identical units to hers for $2,500 a month, so we felt in the current market conditions, asking for $2,200 a month was still below market value. And the idea again was to keep her within the home, keep the family living there in the home, knowing that if they elected to move out in Norwalk, there's currently only one option on the market under 2,400 a month. So we didn't want her to have to go seek housing elsewhere. So we felt that this was very competitive and reasonable, just to get back to, closer to current standards. And now we're here. I understand she's going through the process and I welcome that and don't have issues with that. And again, they've been in great attendance and hope to continue having them.
Thank you so much for your statement. The first section of this hearing will focus only on questions of income and expense, including the tenant's income and the availability of alternative accommodations, the landlord's costs for taxes and overhead expenses, the extent to which income from the rent has been or will be reinvested in the property, and the amount and frequency of rent increases. Ms. Geraldo, please call your first witness to discuss the issues of income and expense only.
So I was asking her about her income.
Es de 15,000, pero yo tengo la deuda de mi y de Beatriz.
So she gets paid 15,000.
Say that again, 50,000?
Speak up.
16,000.
1500, okay.
Can you repeat what you just said, ma'am? Because I didn't hear it.
So she gets paid almost $20,000 yearly,
Her annual income is $20,000 a year?
20,000, yeah. And she gets help from her other daughter and his son, and her son,
Where is the 20,000 derived from?
her job as a nanny. And she lives with her her mother, who's 80 years old, too,
So her mother,
lives with her.
So there's another tenant in the house as well, her mother who's 82,
Yeah.
she's not on the lease.
No, she's not in the.
Did you say there was other income too?
Who is
No,
that?
like no,
That was,
there's only one income.
that was Mr. Halliday. We probably ask our questions. My voice is relatively distinct, so I think the court reporter will pick up on it every time. But for you guys who are not speaking, as often just say Peter Halliday and, and then say your question and anybody else. If the court reporter wants me to say my name, I'll say it too, but my voice is kind of, it travels. So Mr. Halliday, you had a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to know if there was any other income besides the 20,000.
No, only the help that she receives from her daughter and her,
So her mother doesn't have any income.
her mother doesn't have any.
Okay.
She's 80.
Thank you.
Brenda Penn Williams. Her mother's 82. She doesn't receive Social Security.
You can't shake your head. You have to say yes or no out
No.
loud, because.
No, she doesn't.
So she works as a nanny. She receives $20,000 a year, plus what her son and her daughter gives.
That's
And how much is that they give her?
En total, 600.
$600 monthly that they get. $600. 600.
600,
That she get from her daughter and her son from the for rent
a total of
Yeah.
600, okay.
A year or a month?
Month.
monthly.
A month.
please say, hold on a minute. Please, before you speak, commissioners, say your name and say it loudly. We have one speaker and she needs this for accurate recording. Please, thank you.
She said that
Brenda Penn.
Brenda Penn Williams is telling you what the complainant said. She receives a total of $600 monthly from her son and her daughter.
Okay.
Brenda Penn Williams, another question. How much does she get monthly from her nanny job?
a month. 3,050 for month.
$3,050. 3,000.
So just Russell, let's
Oh.
stop. You're telling us that she gets $3,050 a month for her nanny job?
Yeah.
Okay, $3,050 a month times 12 is over $36,000 a year.
Okay, that's.
What? Porque
Like she gets the money. Like she doesn't declare what she gets paid.
Okay, we didn't ask if you file taxes or not, so don't incriminate yourself because you're talking about
Okay.
committing a crime. We don't want anyone to
Um,
admit to committing a crime here, okay? That's a mistake. But if she gets $3,050 a month,
Okay, that would be.
she gets $3,050. We're trying to be accurate here.
I'm sorry, yeah.
If you say 20, because I did the math before the question was even asked, and $20,000 divided by 12 is $1,666.66
You're
a
right.
month. So 30,000,
Okay, so you can update her.
so $30,050 a month, we can figure that out now, okay? We'll do the math on that. And he also says she's getting $600.
$7,200.
That's 20. Sorry, 30,500 divided by 12, that's $2,541 and change a month. So you bid across that if you want.
The, Mr. Church, you may,
I
Ask
just
a
wanted
question.
to. if I understood
please say
right,
your name.
Michael Church is speaking. You said $3,054 a month, correct?
Yeah,
So it's $3,054 a month times 12, not 30,000.
I'm
That's
sorry,
fine.
30, right, I'm sorry, 36, that, you're right.
I just wanted to clarify.
Are there any questions you want to ask of the
Well,
witness?
I'll let them finish. I just wanted to clarify the numbers.
Yeah, we're still in section 1. If there are any questions
So-
that you want to ask of the witness, you may do so at this time.
Is. I'm good with the information given.
Okay. Um, so. Does the staff have any questions? You've asked a lot of questions, Mr.
I'm just trying to keep people, I just want people to be as accurate and give you as accurate information as possible to help you with your deliberation. I don't, what I've heard from Tessa so far, she gets a little bit over $36,000 a year in income from the day job. She gets $600 a month from her daughter or son-in-law, and that, another 600, if I do 600, set another $7,200, so, we could add that up together between $36,000 and change, $7,200 and change. You're talking about a little more than $43,000 income a year.
Michael Church, just for awareness, do you have a car payment?
she does.
Please speak
I'm
loudly
sorry.
and say your name.
My name is Andrea Zapata, and yes, she has a car payment,
Not mountains.
$400. $400.
Okay,
For the car payment.
we
Yes.
can go down that, we can go down that track. You have auto insurance as well?
We do.
And how much is that a month?
$140.
Okay, and you have an electrical bill every month?
Mm, 85, 90.
Around $100.
Okay, so what did she say? We have to interpret what she says. She said,
Like 85,
Yeah, she said 85, so I understand what she said. But
Okay,
You,
$85.
you gotta be accurate, okay? Because if anyone picks up on, I'm listening, Carlos is listening.
Okay,
I understand, but I'm just, for the interpreter, I need the interpreter to accurately interpret what you say, word for word, okay? So 85 of that.
A
Yeah,
question. She pays Brenda Penn Williams. She's paying $85 a month for what?
Electricity.
Excuse me?
electricity.
What, does she have gas?
She has oil.
I'm gonna ask those questions.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna, I do this with, when I used to do divorces, you used to have to ask all, you have to lay out all the expenses of
Oh,
people.
yeah, but I didn't understand what she's paying for.
Okay. You also heat your house with oil,
Yeah, she
Yeah.
does.
and what does that come out to about on a monthly basis?
Por dos tiempos, 2 veces al año, tengo la ayuda del aceite.
Okay, so she gets help from the town with the oil.
Okay, so she pays nothing, or
She doesn't pay
Okay.
for the,
how about water? She pay for water
No, she
independently?
don't.
Water's included?
Just let him say the whole thing before you start speaking, because if you're talking over each other, it's no good. So
So
what was that about water?
water's included in the rent?
is included there.
Sewer's included in the rent?
It is,
How about food? How much does she spend on food a month?
Por mes.
For the household, for the household.
Ay, perdón.
No.
Tu mamá y.
$200 week.
Okay. And she said $200 weekly, right?
Yeah.
How about cell phone? She have a cell phone?
Yes. 85.
She pays $85 for it.
Okay, she have internet at the house?
Yeah. 78. 78.
$78 for internet.
Okay, how about cable television?
No.
No, she doesn't pay for cable.
Medical insurance?
She doesn't pay for medical insurance.
Any other household expenses that I've not gone over that she pays? Like, there must be a monthly charge, you must spend monthly gasoline, you gotta buy gas for your car.
Gasolina. Por months. 120.
$120.
$120.
A month for gas. For gasoline. Anything else you can think of, I don't wanna pry it out of you like, like I'm prying out a claim, but you gotta. Yeah.
No, es la,
You know, so I was asking her about her mom's expenses, like insurance and everything,
Right.
but she said that she goes to Norwell Community Health Center for the health, so she doesn't pay for that.
Okay,
So
shouldn't pay for eye doctor either,
no,
no, okay. My sister is giving me mi hermana me ayuda para ella.
so your sister's taking care of that for you,
she helps a little bit with her mom's,
so. We may have more money coming in from another source besides the son and daughter, the sister, a little bit.
just with her.
I think everyone understands what's going on. I don't have any other questions for you. You can't tell me your expenses, whatever you've given me, we have. I think, does anyone else have an expense that I might have missed or that you're thinking of that you may want to bring up? I don't think there's anything
What about
significant.
dental?
How about dental?
Okay. All right, okay. All right, and so we,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
yes, John, I mean,
There's, with the car payment or any, I know the city helps with the oil, with the car payment, does the son or daughter pay for that directly?
No,
Or does that come out of your,
And you obviously pay,
the cell phone bill, is that just your cell phone bill, or are you on the family plan?
No, it's only mine.
Okay, and do you pay that out of your money, or does the
Yeah.
son or daughter help with that?
She help me.
el teléfono lo pagas tú, te ayudan tus hijos.
No.
Only, she pays herself for her phone bill, for her phone bill.
and what kind of car is it?
Honda CRV. 2014.
She has a Honda CRV 2014.
Okay, and she obviously has to pay some small amount of auto taxes on that, well, I
Yeah.
have that every year.
Actually, she was telling me that she was, like $361. ¿Cuánto fue los taxes de la?
329.
$329 for the tax.
So it's a little bit under $30 a month for auto tax.
And then, when did you get the car?
En agosto del 2014. Del 2019.
August 2018, she bought a
Next
car.
month is down the payment.
Is there anything else in income or expenses that you would like to add at this time, Geraldo?
No, we are done with this.
Mr. Church, could you please call your first witness regarding the issues of income and expenses only for LGB LLC?
The income and expenses would be relative to them.
For your LLC.
Yeah, for your LLC.
I don't have any witnesses to call, but I don't have anything to testify related to that.
You don't have anything about your income or your expenses on this property or your properties?
Well, different properties maybe, but this property, no, I'm very comfortable with where things are at. Thanks to the local government, my taxes weren't increased too significantly. And, I'm very comfortable where things are. Yes.
Brenda Penn Williams. So you just testified that you're comfortable with your income regarding where she lives, then why do you want to raise the rent?
To get closer to market conditions.
And how will this getting closer to market conditions enhance the living conditions for Mrs. Geraldo?
I would, continue to maintain the way I have when they have issues. We take care of it. And that would be that.
Do you have any record of expenses that for that property for, say, the last year or so?
Sorry,
Any reviews?
did you
I
say?
do not have records, for the past year or so with us today.
Are you aware of any repairs that were made on the property during the last year?
Off the top of my head, I know.
Are you aware of any requests from Mrs. Geraldo for repairs on the property in the last year?
Off the top of my head, I am not, but I do welcome her to inform us if there was and what it was.
Okay, since there are no other witnesses, and are there any questions that the staff might want to ask Mr. Church?
Church.
Do you have another question for Ms. Geraldo?
Yes, Peter Halliday. Asking you, what? Okay, so 1,700, so, and they want to raise it to 22. What does she feel like she could afford for an increase, if there was an increase? I mean, what could she afford?
Mi hijo siempre es el que ha hablado con la inmobiliaria. Y ofrecimos 2,000.
Okay, so
You
Harrison-
can't tell what the negotiations were. She just has to answer the question
that's what.
straightforward. I understand what she's saying. Okay, so I understand Spanish really well. I just can't get it from my brain to my tongue.
No,
I
I didn't, but I
understand.
asked her like, how much?
Right, so
Okay, 2,000.
2,000.
2,000, she says she can afford $2,000 a month.
Are there any other questions? All right, we're gonna close questions and statements on section 1. Move to section 2. The second section of the hearing will focus only on questions relating to conditions in the unit, including repairs, sanitary conditions, whether the unit is in compliance with ordinances of the city and state, and if the tenants caused any damage to the premises. Mrs. Geraldo, please call your first witness to discuss the conditions in the unit and if any repairs are needed in the unit only.
There's no any urgent repair that the house needs to get done right now. But the house, it would be nice to have a new stove. Dishwasher, the dishwasher is really old.
Does it work?
It does.
Okay, for repairs, I'd like everyone to turn to their exhibits and look at exhibit 5, please, because hold on. Everyone look, please look at exhibit 5, because Carlos went out there, I believe, and did an inspection of the unit. Exhibit 5 and exhibit 6 for the conditions of the unit and a written report. And do you turn to 5 and 6 in your,
I'm here.
turn to 5 first for me, if you would, please? There's tabs. If you look, you should have a tab in each of your, in your notebook there.
Yeah, I got it.
We're about the 5 first. 5 is up here.
Yeah, I did look at that.
5, boom, and then it's Carlos's written report.
Oh.
I just want everyone to be on the same page and we understand what's going on, okay? So everyone review 5 and I'll ask the complainant a question. Do you think that exhibit number 5 is a fair, accurate representation of the repairs that need to be done on the property? I just need to know if you agree with that.
She agrees with it.
Okay,
Sorry, what did she say?
she agrees with exhibit 5.
Okay, yeah, I think if she turns her face towards the camera more, I'll be able to hear her better when she answers.
They're both pretty soft spoken, so but I agree. As I said, you hear this voice, it just does what it does. I'm not
I hear
trying to
you
project.
loud and clear.
So if you can try to project a little bit more.
With the third.
It's okay, you're doing what you usually do. And then take a look at exhibit number 6 for me, if you would. And I'd like the board to look at exhibit 6, because Carlos took these photographs. And Carlos, when approximately did you take these photographs?
So just to be clear, I went out there with our field representative, Bill Natick. He took the pictures, he did the inspection, but I was there present. And these were taken June 20th of 2024.
And I'm gonna ask the complainant, are the photos that we have here, exhibit 6, fair, accurate representations of the way the property looked on or about June 24th, 2024?
They are.
You agree with that, Ms. Geraldo? Okay, so the complainant is in agreement that exhibit 6 are fair and accurate representation of the condition of the unit as of June 24th, 2024. Besides what we, in the report, exhibit 5 or exhibit 6, is there anything else you want to add about the condition of the property?
You know, they start the AC, the electric panel is like breaking the trips. So that's something that we would like to have fixed if it's possible too.
Okay, have you called the landlord about that problem at all?
It just started 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
So you haven't called the landlord about
We
it?
have,
el aire acondicionado.
Yeah.
Está.
And this trips when the fan is,
when we start the AC.
If we could ask Michael Church, can I just ask a question about that?
Yeah, and what, you'll get all the opportunity to cross-examine, you'll have full carte blanche to ask questions, let the board finish their questions and whatever you need to do.
Johnny Weldon, you spoke in reference to the air conditioner. So are you stating that, you can't turn the air on and other things on before it will
So when this,
disconnect?
Se apagan los aires acondicionados la luz en mi cuarto y en la sala que es donde estoy.
so yeah. So she has to, like, everything goes down, and she has to go downstairs to the basement and move the bracket and start it again.
Are there any other appliances or electrical apparatus plugged into the same outlets?
Her room,
Está mi cuarto, el cuarto de mi mamá, en la sala y la luz del basement.
so,
Los cuartos y la luz de la sala.
so when it doesn't work, her mom's room, the,
I understand,
the living room,
they all cut out.
Yeah.
But in the electrical outlets, she plugs the air conditioner in.
Escucho.
Are there any other appliances plugged into that
No.
outlet? I just wanna make sure it's not being overloaded.
sorry, yeah.
Okay, are there any other,
I have a question.
Okay.
Brenda Penn Williams, who does the upkeep of the yard?
They do it,
When you say they, you mean the landlord?
the landlord takes care of it.
Now, when you speak of the air conditioner, I see it, they're window air conditioners, so how many air conditioners are affected?
Los dos se apagan. Bien,
The living room and then her bedroom, goes down, like the AC doesn't work. So if one goes down, the second one, because, it's affecting the second floor and the living room.
I think she's asking how many air conditioner
There are
windows you
two,
have.
and both are being affected when it goes down.
So it's like a circuit breaker problem. Okay, thank you.
Johnny Weldon, does the landlord, when you get called for things that need to be repaired and done, do the landlords come out to repair?
The landlord always takes care of it all.
The landlord always left.
Takes care of the house, but she was asking specifically, if a repair needs to be done.
Yeah.
Does the landlord come out and do the repair?
They do.
are there any other questions by the commissioners?
Sonia Oliver. I know most of the things that were pointed out in the inspection report and by these pictures may seem minor, but I see a lot of hazardous conditions here. Have you reported any of these things to the landlord?
No, we haven't reported. it. Answers. Good.
Any more questions? Not yet. Mr. Church, you had a question for us?
Yes, is there an AC in each bedroom?
One AC upstairs and downstairs.
One bedroom does not have an AC at all.
Yeah.
Will I be asked about this?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you're coming up.
We
you're
go
coming
A to
up
B,
next.
B to A. It's a volleyball back and forth until the ball hits the ground, we
Yeah.
continue.
So we get through 6 and then, school. We're gonna hurry through this, don't we?
No, you're doing good. You're doing good.
Okay. All right, are there any other questions, commissioners? Are there any questions, staff?
Yeah, I have one more.
Okay.
Johnny Weldon, this is a 3 apartment
Two apartments,
complex, it's just,
Duplex.
it's a duplex,
oh, it's a duplex.
yes.
I have one, Brenda Penn Williams. Who is responsible for the air conditioning? Does it come with the unit? Or you just put it in there because it's hot?
We just put it in there because it's hot.
Okay, so the landlord, it's not their responsibility.
The AC, no, it's not responsible.
Okay, are there any other commissioner questions or clarifications? All right, Mr. Church, you may ask question of.
Uh, do we know what happened to the smoke detectors or CO detectors that were on the first floor?
Nunca, siempre existió solo en el segundo piso. No. Solo en el segundo piso.
There's no smoke detectors at the first floor, only at the second floor.
I understand.
All right, no, sorry, what, miss, say it again.
We don't have a smoke detector in the first floor. At the first
Okay,
So, did you ever have a smoke detector on the first?
No, no tenía
No,
ningún problema.
She doesn't.
Do you ever have a smoke detector, or carbon monoxide detector in the basement?
No, she doesn't have one at the back.
Did she ever have one there?
No.
No, never.
The rear storm door says it has no handle. Did it ever have a handle?
Yes, lo tengo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it has it. Nothing happens. Yeah, it has it before.
Okay, and what happened to that handle?
I don't know, one day maybe it's old, one day it's go open, it's broke.
The page before that, it says living room windows, non-functioning, no screens, no locks, painted shut.
Excuse me, Ms. Church, could you note the page number you're talking? Each page has a number in the corner.
He's at exhibit 6. I know he's referring to exhibit 6.
But each page has a number in the right lower.
On my copy, I apologize, I will go.
Page 8, page 8.
Okay, page 8. Thank you.
I want to read the first copy.
Last swap out? No backs.
Now I can.
Okay, thank you. So we can all be on the same
Yep,
page.
No, I agree.
Is that fine?
Oh, actually. All right, so page 8, it says, living room windows, non-functioning, no screens, no locks, painted shut. To the best of your knowledge, was there ever locks on that window?
She can't recall having a screen or lock on the window.
Okay. Page 12. There's a photo, I think, of the front door latch. Was that, what happened to that latch or that, handle?
La que respondí, por all estaba, yo fui a abrir, y se reventó.
So she went to open the door and it got,
Mr. Church,
open the door and it what?
and it broke.
the handle broke. this is Commissioner Collier Clemens. Mr. Church, on page 11, there's a picture of the rear door with that handle broken, and then on page 12, which you were referring to, that's the rear door, not the front door. That's the same door. It's just a close-up of the broken latch,
Okay, thank you.
okay? Are there any other questions? Do you have any other statements, Ms. Geraldo?
De esto, pues lo que me interesa que me arreglen es la puerta de la llanta.
So she would like to have like the back there, back
Speak
yard.
a little louder.
So she would like to have the back, like the rear door for the backyard repair. That's everything that she just told me.
Okay.
I have a question. Brenda Penn Williams, how long has she lived here?
Since 2009.
2009.
9,
2009, correct.
So when the LLC purchased this house, did they do an inspection?
No, she did, but they didn't.
Johnny Weldon, for all that we see here, broken this, need this, fix that, have you ever complained to your landlord? And asked your land, I shouldn't say use the word complaint, have you ever spoken with your landlord, or LLC, in reference to having some of these things taken care of?
A ver, cuando nos abrían unos gabinetes de la cocina, estaban filtrando agua, estaban dañados, cambiaron eso, pero dejaron unos sin cambiar, porque también están viejos, pero
Okay, so at the kitchen, page 13,
las cúpulas.
they used to be like, on page 13, they're brand new cabinets. She complained about those and those got changed. On page 15, they left the old ones and they're still there. So yeah, she's not being like communicating all the damages of the house, but like the most bigger ones, she's been telling them, like, here, I have this damage, can you come and repair?
El chain de over, el chain de nevera, cambiaron la nevera.
They changed the fridge, the stuff.
Okay, again, Johnny Weldon, so again, you're saying that, there were issues that you went to Mr. Chairman.
There were issues,
Pues fue como en 2019. Pues en vez de pero no tenía la señora.
so she only went once for the kitchen cabinets.
And they replaced what was broken, but they didn't.
Only, yeah, one section and the other one they left the, like the old ones. They can call them the old.
What year was that?
2019, they were changed.
2019.
Are there any other statements that you would like to make regarding?
No.
Okay.
Es muy interesante.
Okay, does the staff have any other questions? Do the commissioners have any other questions?
I do,
Okay,
but I don't know if you're gonna be able to answer. Brenda Penn Williams, why did they place half the cabinets?
Que porque tienen que reparar finales. She doesn't know.
Cambiaron el piso. Colocaron el béisbol en una parte donde no se veía, no lo pusieron.
And they also changed like the floor, like the kitchen floor, one section and that's it. So I guess they like half of the kitchen and the other half, they percent of wall, or
When, I
Brenda
didn't,
Penn Williams,
excuse
what
me,
did-
Brenda.
sorry.
I did not understand the last thing that you said.
so I guess that they change
Is
only
this what she said?
Yeah.
Okay.
one section and the other section they didn't, they said fix it, they didn't do anything to one portion of the kitchen, that's what she said,
Okay.
Brenda Penn Williams, what year was this done?
2019.
18?
No,
19.
19.
Oh, 19, okay.
Okay, do you have any other statements to make? Okay. Mr. Church, you may, call your first witness, as to the conditions unit, its repairs, sanitary conditions, and whether it's in compliance with the ordinance of the city and state.
So, as you heard, I was not aware of the condition within the unit. Nothing was mentioned to the property management company or then relayed to I that I'm aware of. I would like to make sure that there's smoke detectors. I would like to fix the front banister, which I see as a safety issue. And go through and look at the things that stood out to me were the smoke detector and the front railing. To make sure that there's no health and safety issues within the unit. So we would like to address that. If there's no lock on the window, I would like to make sure that all windows can be locked and or open for fire and safety. And same with the latches on the doors, I'd like to fix that. What I would like to understand as a owner, et cetera, is what's our responsibility and what's their responsibility as far as and she lived there when we acquired it, we did not do inspections. And so I can't say if there was or wasn't smoke detectors, but if we put in smoke detectors and then they disappear, whose responsibility is it to replace it?
What I used to do, just I'll give you some free tips, as a property person who ran 40 years of multifamily housing. They would always disappear. Because the tenant would always take something out, a 9-volt battery to run a child's toy. Or somebody was smoking, or the kitchen, someone would be cooking in the kitchen, and there'd be smoke, would come and set up smoke detector. What I would do is every 6 months, I go into the unit. I'd make sure it was there, I'd take a photograph, I'd hit the button, make sure that it went off, and in a 3-family house or more, the fire marshal checks them every year. So it's the landlord's obligation to use reasonable efforts to make sure that they're still there. And if the tenant takes them away or they magically disappear, you can send the tenant notice that they're in violation of state statutes. And you can actually bring an eviction action against them for nuisance if they keep on disappearing on you.
Right.
No problem. But there's an endemic problem with landlords, smoke detectors disappearing from places and property.
Oh, you may continue, Mr. Church.
Yeah, no, my understanding, and to reiterate what they said, was when they expressed there was an issue in the kitchen, we put in a new kitchen. Not complete new kitchen as we heard, but the cabinets, according to their words, and I don't have record of this in front of me, a new fridge, a new stove, is that correct? A new fridge and stove?
Yeah.
And half a new floor?
Half of the new floor, yeah.
Okay, and so, that when we were called, we did address it, and we do like to maintain our properties if we are made aware of issues. Also, they had mentioned that was in 2019, and you'll note that in August of 2019, I raised the rent from 14 to 1,500 a month, and that's somewhere, I don't know which table of contents that is.
It's the complaint, the original complaint.
So number 3,
No, number 1, I think number 1. She lists out what the rents are in number 1.
okay.
I don't,
So-
I don't know if it's accurate or not, if it's not accurate, you tell us, but, we take, these are sworn to documents, so we take people at their word. It's on the second page of, exhibit number 1, paragraph 13.
No problem. And so, again, I point that out to say that, it wasn't done, I haven't having replaced the kitchen, said, well, now I'm gonna jack your rent, et cetera, et cetera. And I appreciate, her characterization as us as property managers or landlords, that we do actually take pride in our property. And so, you know, I always tell tenants when they move in, we want them to do their part and we'll do our part. And so, again, I would like to address the issues now that I'm aware of some of them. But aside from that, she's done her part and been a quality tenant. So I don't have anything further at this time
Okay.
to that instance.
Mr. Halliday has a question. I can see that.
Can I ask him?
Absolutely. Peter
Peter
Halliday.
Halliday, sir, when did you acquire the property?
February of 2018.
Thank you.
Sonia Oliver, you mentioned several of the things that are in here. But a main area of concern should also be those back steps,
Yeah,
that gate from the back, from the backyard.
Could you tell what page that was?
Page 53, top step is broken and is a trip hazard. On page 54, there's a portion of a rail that looks like it's rotted out.
Yes.
You addressed all the screens, and I'm trying to find the page that has the gate that does not open.
49.
Okay, that should all be taken care of. I can appreciate you wanting to bring the rent of the unit up to market value, but looking at these pictures, the unit itself is not up to market.
Can I comment? So, we can agree to disagree. I go in apartments all day long in the market. Also as a realtor, I show tenant clients who are tenants looking for apartments. I'm currently showing people 2-bedroom apartments now, so I've had the good fortune of going in a number of 2-bedroom units within Norwalk. And it amazes me what condition units are being presented in. I always focus on clean and functional and safe. And so I understand, and also I'd like to specify that we're not coming up to market conditions.
No, I can appreciate you wanting to get closer.
Closer, right, and no, and so we also, again, I think there's a pink bathtub. We understand it's not a fully updated unit. It is in a good neighborhood. And it is, to our knowledge, well maintained. Now that we have more knowledge, we will, and when I specified any health and safety things, I didn't go through line by line.
But you will.
But now that we're aware of it, we can address it. And so, so I would just welcome, and don't expect this to happen, but welcome to take anybody through 2-bedroom units that are available in Norwalk to see the market's changed rapidly over the last few years and just to see what's out there.
Sonia Oliver, but does that make it right? No.
Just say it made it
It
right?
doesn't make it right.
Nope. I didn't
That
say it made
means
it
that
right.
their tenants just have not filed complaints against them, and they probably should. Because if someone is paying, market value for a unit, there should not be a broken rail that they could fall and break their neck on.
Wholeheartedly
There
agree.
should not be a step that they could fall and break their neck on. And to want to bring it up to market value and have it in this condition, or close to market value even, that's just. I guess the problem here is that an inspection should have been done, in my opinion, before the rent increase was submitted to.
Johnny, maybe do you have?
Yeah, I just want to say, Mr. Church, you're the manager. Who does the maintenance part of these apartments?
The maintenance.
Okay, well, then evidently you just, like you just said, you go out and you show apartments, but you're not aware, you just became aware of all these things that happening in this unit right here. So you had no knowledge, at all, so I was asking you, who do you have maintaining if she needs you doing this, if she needs this thing?
The maintenance man, and when I leave tenants alone until they let me know that there's an issue. I found, because earlier in my career, I did your 6-month thing, and tenants didn't want me intruding in their home. And so from that, the relationship I've had with tenants is always, if you have an issue, let us know. We're full-time, we do this, we want to address issues. And the example they gave of the kitchen is an accurate example. It is true, I personally do not go in every unit. I rely on the tenants to let me know if there's an issue or to let management know when they report back to me. And so, so yes, I'm not aware of the thing, but when we become aware, and now that we're aware, we do address them. This is slightly, probably not a smart thing to say, but in jest is, if I make it market rate condition, can I charge market rate condition?
That was rhetorical, right?
Brenda Penn Williams, I have a question.
Sure.
I'm shocked that when you purchase this property that nobody inspected. That I'm shocked about.
Okay,
Sonia Oliver, one other quick question. This maintenance man, he works for,
Cutting edge property
that's,
management.
okay.
He works
I
for
just
who,
want-
sorry?
Cutting
Cutting
edge
edge.
property management.
I thought that was the answer, but I just wanted to clarify it.
so,
We can have it on.
I
Mr.
didn't hear
Church,
the name, property management, what now?
Edge.
Name of the name of the management company is Cutting Edge Management.
Okay.
Put it on the screen for you.
Mr. Church, I have forgotten the question I was gonna ask you. It's really important. We'll go on.
While you're thinking of that, I will stall for you. If you go to page 38. You mentioned water damage under the air conditioner. I am happy to address that issue. Presuming that the water damage is from the air conditioner, does the tenant have a responsibility to use these things in an appropriate way to not cause damage to the unit?
The answer is yes. The tenant has to use it in a responsible manner, and if she damages it based upon her using the air conditioner, wets the wall, has to be repaired, that'll come out of her security deposit at some point in time.
Okay, I remember now. Does the tenant contact you directly with, requests for repairs, or is there someone else that they,
They contact the property management.
the cutting
Cutting
edge, and then cutting edge gives to you?
Yes,
Okay, and they know that,
yes.
okay. Are there any other, evidences that you want to give under the section 2?
I just have one other question.
I was gonna get to you.
Okay, I'll be quiet till you get to me.
Are there any other questions from the staff?
Oh, yes, I have a question.
Okay.
Have you ever been inside this unit before?
Not to my recollection.
Okay.
I just also realized on page 33, there's an exhaust fan in the bathroom not working, something else I'd like to address. Wasn't aware of it. How long has the exhaust fan not been working in the bathroom?
Siempre me ha servido. Pienso que 3 años,
She believes that haven't been working for 3
porque
years.
trabajaba, pero regular.
Okay, so you remember walking the exterior of this property ever? The yard and the exterior?
I have one.
And remember when you did that last?
Last was probably 2018.
Okay, so 5 years, basically 5-6 years since you bought the property, you haven't gone to the outside of the property.
Well, so you saw, the way the fence is. Her next door neighbor has a dog that's in the backyard. And even in other houses that don't have dogs, I feel it's trespassing to walk through their backyard unannounced. I could announce myself and let them know ahead of time. Some tenants, that makes them uneasy when the owners walking around, so no, I have not.
Okay, I just wanted to get an idea of what your observations were.
Yeah.
Okay, I have no other questions.
Brenda Penn Williams, the next door neighbor is one of your tenants?
Yeah, it's a side by
Okay,
side.
okay.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions, or any other explanations or clarifications that you'd like to give us? Wait just a minute.
I am comfortable with the section.
Are there any other questions from the commissioners
I have a question
in this section? Okay.
for the complaint. Why haven't you notified the landlord about repairs?
Sí, o sea, lo que necesitábamos urgente, yo no me di cuenta que había todos esos problemas cuando fue el inspector a decir que había los problemas. Pero cuando siempre que llamábamos, pues
She only communicates like urgent or what she considers heavy problems, heavy repairs for the house. So she was taking care of small things and she just saw like the inspection that said she just been like seeing repairs that need to be done too, as you as well. Like the doors, there's stuff that she didn't know that it was happening at her house right now.
aunque la de la llanta se le comunicó, pero dijeron que eso lo tenemos que hacer nosotros.
So she told the landlord about the backyard, like the door, and they say that they have to fix it.
Well, she testified that the exhaust fan, which is important because it's supposed to keep the moisture and the mold and all of that, that has been broken for 3 years. And she didn't notify the landlord.
Es lo mismo, es que el problema es que mi hijo era el que siempre hablaba con ellos.
So her son is the one who like helped her with the landlord and everything, so. Didn't
So her
communicate.
son is the one that communicates with the landlord?
Yeah,
Okay, anything else that you said after that?
no,
Okay,
Wait a minute, I'm confused now.
so she has a son who was at the lease. So he left the house. He was the one responsible for the communication between the landlord and her.
Oh, so when she has a problem, she contacts her son and the son contacts the landlord.
the
Because she
landlord.
doesn't
That,
speak English or understand.
Okay, okay,
She
okay.
understands pretty good. Okay. Mr. Church, the management company, they have anyone who's fluent in Spanish to assist?
Yes, our maintenance person speaks.
Okay, so your mom,
Our maintenance person at the management company does speak fluent Spanish.
thank you.
Okay, are there any more clarifications? Are there any more questions from the staff, commissioners, complainants?
One more question.
Just one.
promise.
Jackie Weldon, when there is an issue and you have to go to Cutting Edge, which is the proper managers, they take care of your property. How long does it take them to repair something or come see about something or fix something? How long does it take? Is it a week? Is it a month? Is it 2 years? What's the length of time it takes when you make a complaint about something in your unit? Has a problem, a broken this, a broken window?
No, la verdad, ellos llegan, atienden rápido, sí. Eh,
It's a whole day
días
that they-
son-
Translate what she said.
Yes, answer that.
They
Atienden
quick.
rápido, sí.
Yeah.
They're
they-
quick.
They
They
come
come
up-
right away?
they come-
People, there's too many people talking. I didn't hear what she said at all.
That's what, the management company comes out and does repairs quickly.
Okay,
I need you to try to translate pretty much word for word. I know you're not a professional translator, I get that. I know you're trying to help them get the truth out at the same time, but try to be as Yes, word for word as possible. Thank you, you're doing a great job, but I do need to give you that admonishment, because if that ever goes to court to a judge, they'll wanna see that the translator translated accurately.
Absolutely. All right, we're now closing section 2, questions and testimonies. We're in section 3, which will deal with the services, furniture, furnishings, and equipment supplied with the unit and the availability of utilities. Mrs. Geraldo, will you please call your first witness to discuss the availability of utilities and any services, furniture, or equipment that's supplied with the unit?
We don't have a business.
Okay,
You don't have any testimony, we've already heard about the refrigerator, we've already heard about the stove, we already heard you on the air
is there
conditioner.
anything else?
No.
Okay, we already heard about the air conditioner tripping off the circuit breaker, so I think we probably covered that already in that section. Yes, she has nothing.
Okay, Mr. Church, do you have any questions or testimony about section 3 that will deal with the services, furniture, furnishings, and equipment supplied with the unit?
Feel free to stop me if this is unnecessary, but just to reiterate what we've already heard this evening, is they do have a newer fridge, a newer stove. The hot water heater, the furnace are maintained. I do not know the age offhand. They haven't had issues with them that I'm aware of. We handle the landscaping in the yard. And we handle the landscaping in the yard. And I think, that's just what we've covered already. So no, I don't have more to
I would
add.
imagine you do snow removal as well.
Tenants are responsible for.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Say that again,
Tenants
tenants,
are responsible for snow removal.
wait a minute, so you have a maintenance person to come there? But tenants are responsible for the snow removal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Johnny, so if there's somebody slips and falls, then who's responsible? They are?
Mhm.
Yes.
You can put that in a lease.
Yeah.
It's perfectly lawful to put that in a lease.
If they agree to that in a lease, it's okay. Are there any more questions, commissioners?
No. Yeah, I do. So what does the maintenance people, what do they do? What's their job? Or it's the grounds? Remember I asked that question? And she said it was the maintenance that come up. So if I fall in the summertime, who's responsible?
It depends on, there's a lot of.
When you all over.
Yeah.
You tripped. It's not a fault of anybody per se, it's just an accident. But specific to your maintenance question, the maintenance person is there for when a tenant has an issue and notifies the management company that says, hey, this faucet is leaking. We go make sure the faucet stops leaking. We don't, as a rule, go knock on the tenant's doors or reach out to them to come by weekly or monthly to inspect the unit ourselves. So we rely on the tenant to let us know when there's issues, and when there are, that's when maintenance comes out. Landscapers in the summer, they go out, whatever their schedule is, which I don't have in front of me. But they go out consistently from April through October to maintain the landscaping. And that answers the landscaping question. And that's a third-party company. We hire a separate landscaping company.
I've learned something new here.
Is that
I
Ms.
have
Williams? Is that Ms.
Yes,
Williams?
I said I've learned something new, yes.
Okay, Mr. Church, are the services that are provided for the tenant outlined in the lease? Is that listed specifically in the lease?
Yes, and I realize that our ways is we didn't bring a lease with us. learn that in all our documentation, unless you do have one, which would be great. But yes, in the lease, it does state that they're responsible for what specific utilities the landlord is responsible for, water, sewer, et cetera. It does specify landlord responsible for landscaping, they're responsible for snow removal. If they want cable, they're responsible. So it does outline it specifically who's responsible for what noise.
Do you know how many amps of service of electricity are provided to each unit?
I do not.
Okay, are there any more clarification statements that you need to make, Mr. Eldon, Mr. Church?
Just while we're here, I know you mentioned when the AC goes on, it trips the breaker. Does anything else trip the breaker when you use it?
No solo es, no,
And my understanding just from this conversation, is that's a newer, that just started happening in 2 to 3 weeks ago, you mentioned?
That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any more questions or clarifying statements needed from the commissioners? All right, we will close section number 3 and we'll move to section 4, which is the number and size of rooms and bathrooms available to the tenant and the rents charged for similar housing accommodations, which we have covered. So if you will address the number and size of rooms and bathrooms available to the tenants, Ms. Geraldo.
So our house is 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, lives her and her mom. Sorry, so the house is 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and only lives Ana Geraldo and her mom.
Okay. Mr. Church, same question.
Yep, and so if this is not the proper place to bring this up, let me know. But I would go to table of contents, 7 and then 8. Draw your eyes to that. This is, the list you see in front of you is 6 properties. This is as of July 3rd, when the paperwork needed to be submitted. What was actively on the market in Norwalk, that was a 2-bedroom unit in the multiple listing service. And so as you can see, there's 6 total options. And there's 3 that are 2,500 a month and under. Unit. If you look at the square footage, unit 347 Cedar Street and 115 Main Street bracket the square footage of this unit. I did supply the tax records that shows the size of this unit, if that comes into question.
How many square feet is it?
I believe it's 816 square feet,
And-
not including the basement.
Okay, 816 feet of above grade space.
Yeah.
Okay, and I see on exhibit 7, I see the one you referred to, 47 Cedar Street is 1,440 square feet.
No, that's 908 square feet. 1440 is 42
Okay,
South Main Street.
908,
Oh, wait a minute, 1440 is what?
It's 42 South Main Street. It's exhibit 7, line 2, is 1,440 square feet.
Sorry.
Okay,
And then, if you were to scroll, to tab 8. I just pulled the MLS, every 2-bedroom rental. That's under 3,000 a month, because I didn't think above that was important. That is rented out in 2024. So through July 3rd, it looks like 50 2-bedroom rentals have rented out, and in that, you'll know if you go to line 11. That is 7 Grove Street is 2150 a month. And then line 12 is 30 Stewart, which is 2,300 a month. And I point that out to say, when I'm raising the rent, I'm going to the lowest of the things that have rented out in 2024 in Norwalk. And I could point out many examples, but I did set aside one specific case study that was the same neighborhood that I'm familiar with to the point of market conditions, and that would be tab 9, which is 112 Ward Street. There's just a couple pictures that you can see. You'll know Ward Street and Plymouth Avenue intersect, so it is the same neighborhood. You'll note it's the same two-family house also, so that's apples to apples. In the kitchen photo in tab 9, you'll notice there's no dishwasher, and the cabinets are dated. They're in good shape, but they're dated. She does have a dishwasher. This does have, it doesn't show the bathroom, but it's a similarly good functioning bathroom, but dated. This is also 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. It does have basement access, but you have to go outside to go to the basement. It's not, if this is a 2nd floor unit, you have to walk out backstairs and then go in the Velcro doors to the basement. And that's where you go have washer dryer. So she has direct access. And, if you go to line number 22 in tab 8, you'll see 112 Ward rented out for $2,500 a month. The square footage that it has, as some realtors like to do, unfortunately, says 1,728 square feet. That is the whole house. The unit itself, and I think on the tax card, just that's
Mr. Church,
Yes.
Brenda Penn Williams, are these all your properties?
No, this is just on the MLS.
Oh, okay.
Law, Connecticut,
Oh, okay.
the multiple listing service that realtors have access to. And so, if you divide that 1,728 by 2, that's 800 and something square feet, 63 square feet or something. So it's of similar size. And so that is the market condition that I was speaking to. I'm not saying it's fair or created, I just operated it. And since I'm speaking for myself, as I like to think that I operate in it in a positive fashion. We value long-term tenants. We're not looking to, not renew a lease and get market rate like some landlords in this area. And so, I just want you to understand what I see in our thought process behind how we're arriving here.
All right, are there any other questions of the tenant or the landlord, and the staff?
I have a couple about tab number 7, 8, 9, not many, just a couple of questions. Tab number 7. Have you seen the condition of the inside of any of those units listed there?
I have seen, 47 Cedar, 46 First Street, and 115 Phillip.
Are those units updated?
47 Cedar is a little more updated, 46 First Street is not, 115 Phillip is not.
And there's an arrow out there for 2650, a down arrow. What is
That means they reduced the price. On here, it doesn't say what it was before. You could see, it doesn't, so on the MLS, you can see what the original list price was, and if it hasn't rented in, say, 30 days, some landlord will reduce it.
Okay.
So that's just an example that 46 First Street, if it was listed at 2,800, didn't rent, and now they've reduced it to try to capture the market.
Okay, and out of the 6 you showed us on exhibit 7, 4 of them are over 14, 3 of them are 1,400 square feet, and 1 is over 1,100 square feet, right?
So First Street did the realtor thing again, where it's not actually 1,400 square feet. But yes, those are larger units.
And the larger one on exhibit.
To comment on this specific sheet, just to understand the premise behind it. It was to say, right, as of July 3rd, actually, the lease is rented out, because I checked it. But as of July 3rd, if somebody's looking for a 2-bedroom in Norwalk under $3,000, this is what's available.
Right.
And so if I were to put my unit on the market, if I put it on for $2,450, it would be the second least expensive unit in Norwalk. And because it shows decently, I would fix the things that are broken right now that I just was made aware of. I am confident that the market, makes sense or not, would pay that price. I am not looking to do that, but I'm showing this just to say, if she chose to move out, if the tenant chose to move out, this is what she'd be facing in Norwalk. I want her to stay in Norwalk, and I feel I offered a reasonable thing compared to what's available. July 3rd, I couldn't plan that day, that was just the day I looked, and that's what I see in the market. So that's why that street, you can go to the next one.
No, I'm done. That's why the board to understand what you show.
Okay.
I'm taking questions.
Okay, are there any more questions from the commissioners for clarification? Okay, we will close that section and move to section 5. The 5th section deals with retaliation complaints and questions whether the landlord has retaliated against the tenant for filing a fair rent complaint. Ms. Geraldo.
No. She doesn't.
Could you speak louder so that?
No, she doesn't feel.
There's no claim,
No.
no claim for retaliation.
No.
Okay, all right, thank you. Mr. Church.
I second that.
Okay. Commissioners, do you have any questions?
I just would like to make a statement.
Who's this?
Sonia Oliver. I
Okay.
commend.
Wait,
both-
Sonia, could you speak louder?
Sonia
Speak forward.
Oliver. Just like to commend both of you. This is probably the most peaceful
Yes.
hearing I have ever attended, and I would like to go on record as commending both of you.
If it goes.
Staff,
Nothing here for us, no retaliation.
so we'll move to section 6, which is our last section.
Right.
And this will give the parties the opportunity to bring up any other relevant matters that has not already been discussed.
No, entonces, no sabemos qué es lo que necesita hacer. Lo único que, no sé, la foto que dicen de lo del aire acondicionado, yo no he visto.
The only, she said that there's nothing new to bring to the table. The only thing that she wasn't aware of the damage from the window unit, like from the HVAC. Because she's being really careful with the house, and as you can see, the house is pretty old, but it's in good shape. So for a person who's been living there since 2009. And she appreciates the landlord and being there for them too, but she understands his point of like the increased taxes and the market value of these houses. But she's been there for many years without complaining of damages any kind.
So there's nothing new additional you want to add.
But-
You're basically making closing argument right now. So I just
Yeah.
want to let you know there's no,
Oh,
there was a good closing argument already. You can say it again if you want to. But there's no additional evidence you want to give about why the rent increase should not be. You've given us everything you think you want to give us.
Okay.
It's just a catch-all. The last one is a catch-all. If you missed something, you get a chance to say it again.
All right, Mr. Church, are there any questions of Ms. Avaldo, Commissioner, staff? Okay, Mr. Church, this is your closing, this is your
Well,
last one.
Well, this is last section 6, they go to close.
What'd you say?
They get to close still.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
but this is the close for us.
Close for us,
The section.
right,
Yes.
exactly.
Do you understand that, Mr. Church?
Then we still get a closing.
Yeah,
statement.
yeah, closing statement,
Yeah.
which is gonna say everything you've already said already.
Right.
Everybody get it.
Related to section 6, I think we've covered everything up to this point that's pertinent. So I am good with section 6.
All right, thank you. Now,
Getting there, you're getting there.
I don't see that on my page. The closing statement.
Well, everyone gets it, let everyone make a close.
Okay. Ms. Geraldo, would you make your closing statement to us in about a minute?
Sí, todo esto, pues ya dijimos todo.
Excuse me, please, the paper interferes with the hearing.
No,
Could
that
you-
everything is clear and she has told everything to the commissioners about the house, how she would like to stay there. And she appreciates the landlord and everything that he has done for her.
Madam Clerk Reporter, you got all that?
Yeah, we're close, like we're close with the statement at this point, like that's.
Okay, Mr. Church.
Thank you. I'd like to thank all of you for your time on this wonderful summer evening. We could be at the beach at the concert, but we're here together, so. Yeah, so no, I do thank you for your time and your service. I would just like to hit a couple bullet points since this is the closing statement, and just say, as you've heard from both of us, that we do get along. We haven't had issues. I'm glad to be made aware of some of the deficiencies of the unit now. I have no problem, as you heard, timely fixing things and advising the management to timely be responsive. That is something we pride ourselves on. We are not, looking, in our opinion, to be unreasonable with what our rent increase is. We feel that we kept it artificially low for an extended period of time when we gave her a 3-year lease at $1,700, as opposed to increasing it annually. That's a benefit to her and her family. And with no, as you heard, we replaced the kitchen before we chose to do that, with no retaliatory effect. And so, I just would like to say that, this is a good learning experience for me and how this system operates. I look to operate fairly within the system, and this will be an education for me as I am active in the market and do represent other investors, if you will, or other properties. And so, yeah, if there's any follow-up questions, don't hesitate to ask, but I feel that we both presented good, accurate information to the extent that we know. And it's in your hands. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Church. Thank you, Ms.
Thank you so
Geraldo.
much. We appreciate your time.
I would like to thank the parties for your participation this evening and the witnessing that you did. The commission will now deliberate, and you will be notified of the decision of the commission and subsequently receive a written decision outlining our findings of fact and conclusions of law. We will now break for at 8:18.
At 8:18, are we off the record?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You decided this question should be on the record. And this is partly for both of us, is when we receive notice, whatever the decision is, does it outline the term it's for, the amount, like what is the decision outline so that when we receive it, or do we contact Carlos to have explanation if we're confused?
You'll if you don't understand the decision, call Carlos. Explain it to you. Carlos will, or I will be.
And I just want them to hear it as well as me, is if we just get a piece of paper to know if we're not sure what it means, who to.
Right.
Yep, Carlos is the point man, and if he has to bring me in, he'll bring me in.
And is there a specific time we should be expecting to hear back?
I think it says, there's a week or 10 days.
Okay.
So 10 days at the most, you will hear from us. Thank you again for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Support.
Are you
Do
just
I
submit-
log off at this point?
Yes,
No, you stay with us, Madam Reporter, okay?
yes,
Oh,
you,
okay.
Mr. Church, you are excused, Ms. Geraldo and Ms. Anna. You,
Andrea.
Andrea, You are excused also.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for.
Do we give them back?
Do you want the present?
No, I get it back.
Okay.
I mean, if you want a copy, you can make a copy.
Yeah.
Put them over here.
Thank you.
Yeah, because he might need those copies for.
Thank you all very much. Enjoy the meeting.
Thank you. Thank you.
He needs, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, if you need a copy, I'll give you a copy.
Yeah, so he'll know what fit. Okay,
Let's go back on the record, okay, because
Oh.
typically, go back on the record, because typically, when I do planning and zoning, I do zoning board of appeals, all the boards and commissions, deliberations are usually on. Because it would violate FOI, it could not be. on.
Because of what? I'm sorry, turn face me, because
FOI, freedom of information. So it's always good for the judge, if there's an appeal too, to hear why you need to articulate your reasons on the record. That's why you're making your decisions. If you decide in favor of the respondent, it's say why you decide in favor of the respondent.
That's what the findings of fact are for.
Right, but yeah.
That's what the finding, we have never put them on the record before. That's what the findings of fact are for.
Never did that.
Oh, okay, I don't wanna run afoul of the Freedom of Information Act, but you've never done it before, you never got in trouble, that's fine with me.
The findings of
Madam
fact are what the judge will rely on.
Okay, the Madam Clerk, you can go off, we're done with you then, okay?
I will say goodbye. I'm sorry, I had a hard time hearing you sometimes and interrupted. Thank you for your patience with me.
Thank you very
Good
much.
job,
You did a
thank
very
you.
good job. Thank you, Genevieve.
Okay, goodbye, everyone. I'll log off now.
Yeah, we never done that.
Okay, that's what I was just telling them. We've never done that.
Yeah, but we were here to 4 or 5 o'clock.
Okay,
And I would recommend stopping the recording and pausing it so that anyone who's on the Zoom call. Unless you want me to leave the Zoom call and join back when it's done. If you want Luni's to be, is Luni still on? Yeah.
Pause it.
Yeah, why don't we take a
Yeah.
break and you pause, that's good, all right, thanks, it's just that, when I do planning and zoning, everything has to be on the record, otherwise there's problems.
Because these are really it's like executive session.
Okay, can we do it?
Recording right
Can we resume at 8:30 and give an 8-minute break so we won't be here so late?
You're the chair, you can do whatever you want.
We don't have to worry.
Yes, we have to break.
now.
We have to break.
There'll be no other questions asked.
We are breaking at 8:23 and we will resume at 8:30.
Okay, you're gonna.
At 8:52,
8:51.
8:52 PM.
Okay.
All right, and we are ready for the chair's report.
All right, and I will, since Fran did such a wonderful job as the chair today, I'm gonna yield the floor to Fran to give today's chair report.
All right, good evening. Good evening, commissioners and staff. With permission by the chair, I'm bringing the report tonight. Your presence here allows us to continue our service to the city and community of Norwalk as we exercise the authority given us by Connecticut state and city statutes. I'm grateful that we not only celebrated another Independence Day with pride in our land of the free and home of the brave, but also did it in safety. Continue to stay hydrated and cool in this extreme heat and humidity.
You trying to take his job?
I got some more. Thank you. Thank you for supporting the very successful annual fair rent brunch at Pinstripes, June the 9th. Commissioners and staff, along with their family members and human resource staffers, gathered for a fun 2 hours of good food and conversation. Vice Chair's spouse, Bishop Joseph Clemens's 95th birthday was the same day. Both he and I thank you for celebrating with us his moment by sharing the surprise birthday cake and accompanying it with singing. It was a highlight to his day. Commissioners, you are an invaluable part of this fair rent process that we undertake month after month, and of the case we hear tonight. Thank you for your service.
Very nice.
Okay.
He's definitely trying.
Oh, John,
I'm just.
watch out,
order
John.
everybody.
Right,
He's definitely trying.
right, watch out, John.
All right,
Okay,
I'm good.
now we will have the coordinators report.
Oh, good evening, everyone. I don't have much. I just have one update. Senator Moore, she's the chair of the House Committee, she started this push to create a coalition of fair rent commissions to come together and share ideas and discuss processes and to see how better the commissions can better assist residents. So we have on July 19th, be going up to New Haven and meeting up with the rest of the fair rent commissions that were recently started throughout Connecticut. And we're gonna sit down, throw some ideas around and see how we can better improve how the commissions are being ran. And all that information is being collected by the executive director of the New Haven Fair Rent Commission, and it's gonna be brought up to Senator Moore's desk to see how they can better change or assist, change laws to better assist the residents.
Can I ask that we add that as an agenda item, maybe as an old business agenda item for next meeting for you to share back what the suggestions were and see if there are any that we think as a commission should be implemented.
Yes, we'll do.
She's a good lady, but she's retiring after.
Why didn't they invite the commissioners? I
Oh,
won't be here, but why didn't they invite?
but they're inviting all of the Fair Rent Commission, coordinators or directors for the newly formed commissions throughout the state. And their previous existing.
They can learn a lot.
Norwalk being one of the longest running ones, they asked us to show up. So.
Bridgeport is just putting theirs together. They haven't had it.
Well, Carlos, you're gonna have to lead, I guess, let them know.
Well, New Haven has been doing a really good job. There's a lawyer who's been present too, who's been doing a lot of legal aid, a lot of legal assistance. Versus eviction, so. Should be good. I don't have it off the top of my head.
Okay.
We now turn to review, discussion and motions on open cases, and. turn it over to-
Screen. I'm not being rude, turning my back to anybody. I gotta read off the screen here. That's-
Did you read that one?
No,
I had to.
what, wonder why we can't do this.
Yes.
Okay, this is the matter that we heard last time, 1831-23, 18 Avenue, probably three landlord west, this went from $959.50 to $1,500 a month. We postponed it. We're still working on the language with them, but since we had the hearing, we voted to leave it open until January 24th. I recommend take no action this month.
Motion for no action. Second.
Any discussion, I have a discussion point. Can we change it to January 2025?
That is correct.
Thank you.
Carla, yeah,
Any,
that.
Got it. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes.
I hit it for you.
Sorry, who had just to get them, Sonia.
Brenda Pitt Williams, second, Alba.
And Brenda. Thank you. And
The next case is 1839-23 Elm Street, verse 4. They want to go from 1,000 a month to 1,900 a month. That is excessive. This is the one we're still waiting for the lease to come to, correct?
Yes.
Now, we've been pushing the landlord for the lease. And, this case is getting a little bit old at this point in time, so we'll make really hard efforts to get that new lease done. They have a new lease, supposedly it's all done, but the landlord has been running hither and yon, so I asked to take no action this month.
So if we tell the landlord to get a lease, he doesn't have to get a lease?
He's supposed to, but when you start running into summertime and holidays and 4th of July and Memorial Day weekends, things do slow down. It's not damaging the tenant. Tenant remains paying the same rent. So as long as the tenant's paying the $1,000 a month, the lease is gonna kick in when the landlord finally gets to us. He doesn't get us the lease for another 3 weeks. That new rent's not gonna start until August. So that landlord is jipping himself out of money. So as long as everyone's protected, I think I'm happy, the tenant's happy.
I'm fine.
Okay.
Move to take no action on 1839-20.
Second.
Sonia.
So she gonna get in there.
She's.
Good.
He's not gonna have one foot out the door.
No.
That's what she wants.
Okay, the next case is 1840-24, 23.5 Alpha Street, apartment one, landlord wanted to increase rent from $13.50 a month to $1,600 a month. They've entered into a new lease. We have the new lease. We know there's a new lease. Carlos has tried in April, May, and June to get a withdrawal in this case from the tenant. No interest. So I would recommend we vote to close this case. We voted-
Close the case.
Second.
Brenda, Sonia, one, Brenda, two.
Mhm.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Any abstentions? That's nice. She's
Oh,
back.
that's with knees. Hey, with knees.
Yes, I'm still here. Hi, guys.
She get-
She's been on Zoom the whole time.
See,
Oh, we didn't need to exclude her. We didn't know she was there for the hearing too.
you there for, you were there for the.
I can, yes, I've been here. I can hear you guys very faintly, so I've been trying to kind of listen closely, but I've been here, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so the next case is 1824-24, 44 Plymouth Avenue, unit number one, they want to set a month to 22.20 a month. We just heard, so I don't think we should take any action on it.
You took the action during.
Right. so-
Mhm.
Next case after that is 1849-24, 12 Narromont Ave, Unit B, Lois. Okay?
Oh, yes, okay, I'm just gassed.
Okay.
Oh.
You, make sure you're okay, you do such a good job, don't wanna lose you now, okay? From 3,200 to 3,100 a month.
Bedroom.
Yeah. What's happening now is the tenant is not answering us and the tenant is not paying rent. And they served the notice to quit. We've told the tenant they need to pay rent, but the tenant's not paying. So I think we need to follow this through the eviction process to see what happens. But I actually think no action is, I think this case could be over pretty quickly.
So you see where it says unit B? I don't know if that's the address where my sister-in-law used to live on that same street.
Okay,
And it says unit B. They were, same as this last case, next door to each other, different owners.
it can happen. It can happen. It depends what the deed says. Some deeds are duplexes, some units are two-family houses, that one's a two-family.
So it depends. If it's a duplex
Right,
and they were duplex.
right. Depends on how title was handled. Correct.
Motion to no action.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Muniz, that was an aye, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. I believe that.
We only have.
That's all for the old
That's
cases.
it, the old cases.
We now go to new cases.
The new case is 1850-24, 18 Fairfield Avenue, unit 82. The landlord wanted an increase from $12.50 a month to $21.08. The complaint is, the complaint has been withdrawn. So I ask you not to give it.
Motion not to the case.
Sonia and
And free. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Two passes.
I cannot believe it's only one.
We didn't even vote to hear it.
It's down to-
What's going on in this town and all, I'm shocked.
Yeah.
It's
So
right.
we'll start.
It's right.
All right.
They go- they
Nobody-
go-
This is the-
Wait till school starts.
Right.
It's never been a long.
No. Okay. We have any old business anyone wants to discuss? What's on the agenda? Any new business that anyone wants to raise?
I just wanted to know, since we had the hearing here now, you think we can meet like here in person now? I mean, we can meet tonight.
We
Well,
mean
why
tonight
wouldn't
because we're already here.
No, I know.
I think that if we have a hearing, it's really useful for us to be in person if
Oh, I
possible,
understand
to be
that.
here for the hearing.
Yeah, but a
If we
regular
don't
meeting-
have a hearing, our meetings take less time than it takes for some of us to drive.
That's a
Yes.
fact.
Okay.
You're absolutely
That's right.
So
And at the price of gas.
I really appreciate that everybody came here tonight, and Lenise, I appreciate that you joined online for this. I think it's great that we actually had a hearing all the way through. I think that it was very smooth as far as hearings go. Fran, you did a great job keeping things in line.
Thanks, John.
And I think that it's really great that we get to see each other in person, because in some cases haven't had a chance to do that in a while, or we got to do it at the brunch, but not in kind of a meeting form. So I really appreciate everybody taking the time out of, and this is not our regularly scheduled meeting day.
Right.
Well, if you got somebody twisting your arm, I guess you would be here in person, Carlos.
And I thank Carlos for making the effort to get everybody here. But I don't think. But unless there's significant groundswell support the other way, I don't think there's any need for us to have regular hearings in person and go through the whole setup to make sure they're also virtually available and have one person.
Okay.
So, thank you.
He just love our company.
That's it.
Oh,
I
I'm
love
so
your
glad,
page.
so glad you love us so much. But I'm.
Thank you for listening. If there's no,
I just,
yeah, go ahead.
I want to thank Carlos for the brunch. It was very nicely done. Very nicely done. I thought that they gave all of us nice little facts was very, very nice. So Carlos,
So I know who I am.
well done.
Thank you.
I think you know. who
I
you
don't
are.
think you can.
We had the little,
She wanted her plaque, and she didn't come.
get no flag girl.
She wanted her plaque, and she didn't show
Oh,
up.
we have.
That's a little- No, you don't.
Oh, Carlos.
No, you don't. He got.
He wouldn't.
So,
So where's my plaque?
They ran out of paint and acrylic.
one other item I want to mention, and it's really, Carlos, for you. I believe that we have more vacancies on our commission than any other commission in the city of Norwalk. We need to rectify that, because while 7 of us are regulars and 7 are alternates, everybody basically can serve either way, and it's hard if there are 4 vacancies to get 5 people for a hearing.
Well, she needs to
I
become,
was saying, I can see.
And Sonia-
Sonia's the yeah, she needs to,
I mean, so I
become
don't
a
know what the
Whatever we
problem
need to
is.
do to push things to the mayor. to
She-
get-
she'll get,
To get changes, to get people added.
what are you?
I'm a regular.
But
And
Sonia
so
needs to
you're-
become a regular.
Okay,
I'll bring it up to this.
thank you very much.
Motion. to
She
adjourn.
just only been on the
Motion from
commission.
Peter, second
50
from all in
years.
favor. Aye.
Look,
Thank
she
you.
only been on the commission 50 years. I feel like.
Thank you, Lou.
Thank you, Carlos, for getting us pads and pens and books.
Good.
Good night.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that was really
Full
nice.
service, full service.
But we was missing the. Well, they need to
I
give
know.
us